Today we will be learning how to solve algebraic equations. Please copy down the standard benchmark indicator on a clean page in your math notebook. The student will model and solve algebraic equations. Using equations. An equation is a mathematical sentence that uses an equal sign to show that two expressions are equal. An equation can be either true or false. For example, 13 plus 12 equals 25 is true because both sides have the same value, and 85 minus 21 equals 82 is false because both sides of the equation do not have the same value. An equation with a variable can be true or false depending on the value of the variable. Example, is the equation true for the given value of the variable? For A, we have 4y, which means 4 times y equals 26, and they're telling us y equals 6. So we plug the 6 in, we substitute it, and we get 4 times 6 equals 24, and that is correct. So since both sides of the equation have the same value, the equation is true. For B, we have 8 plus A equals 10, and they're telling us A equals 3. So we substitute 3 for A, so we get 8 plus 3, which equals 11, which does not equal 10. So the equal sign with a line through it means not equal. Since both sides of the equation do not have the same value, the equation is false. Try it. Is the equation true for the given value of the variable? 28 divided by x equals 7, and they're telling us x equals 4. So what value will we substitute for x? And that's 4 because that's the one they've given us. Then we need to rewrite the equation substituting for x. So we're going to rewrite the equation. This time we're going to put the 4 in for x. And then it asks us, is the equation you wrote in item B true or false? In this case, it's true because 28 divided by 4 does equal 7. For D, we have k plus 65 equals 100, and it should be k equals 25. So we're going to plug the 25 in. And if we add 25 and 65, we get 90, which does not equal 100. So for D, it's false. This does not equal. For E, we have 9y, which means 9 times y equals 72, and y equals 8. So we're going to plug in the 8, so we get 9 times 8. And we know that 9 times 8 equals 72, so the equation is true. For F, we have 56 minus j equals 40, and they told us j equals 20, so we're going to plug that in. And we know 56 minus 20 is 36, which does not equal 40, so the equation is false. For G, r divided by 3 equals 5, and they told us r is 15. So we're going to plug the 15 in. And we know that 15 divided by 3 does equal 5, so our equation is true. For H, we have 2w, so 2 times w equals 60, and they're telling us w equals 30, so let's plug it in and check. So 2 times 30 equals 60, which means the equation is true. For I, we have p minus 6 equals 6, and they're telling us p equals 22. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in and find out what 22 minus 6 is. And so 22 minus 6 equals 16, which does not equal 6, so the equation is false. For J, we have 7 times B equals 49, so we need to plug in 7 for B. So 7 times 7 does equal 49, which means our equation is true. For K, we have m divided by 4 equals 2, and they're telling us m equals 10. So we're going to go ahead and plug 10 in. And 10 divided by 4 equals 2 and 5/10, which does not equal 2, so the equation is false. Solving equations. Sometimes you need to find the exact value that will make an equation true. This is known as solving the equation. Think of equations as questions where the variable is read as what number. For example, a plus 3 equals 10 can be read as what number plus 3 equals 10. You can use mental math to solve the equation or answer the question. So for the example, we have y minus 8 equals 7. So step 1, read it as what number minus 8 equals 7. And then we use mental math to work backwards. So we get 15 minus 8 is 7, and we check to see if the equation is true. The other way to solve this, if you can't do it using mental math, is to get the variable by itself. Now we know addition and subtraction are inverse operations, meaning they cancel each other out. So if I subtract by 8 and then add by 8, I've canceled it out. So to get the variable by itself, what we do is get rid of the number that's on the other side. However, to keep the equation equal, we have to do the same thing on both sides. So for y minus 8 equals 7, we can add 8 to both sides. So a negative 8 and a positive 8 will cancel each other out, but 7 plus 8 equals 15, which is the answer we got. And this is a method we're going to work up to as we get into more complicated equations. Now, many of these you will be able to solve using mental math, and you're welcome to use that step as well. But you need to also know the process for solving it if you can't use mental math to get there. So try it. Solve a plus 5 equals 12. So for a, what number plus 5 equals 12? Right, if we think back to our mental math, we know that 7 plus 5 equals 12, so a has to equal 7. And again, you can do it by getting the variable by itself on the other side as shown above. For solving 3x equals 18, what number times 3 equals 18? Well, we know 6 times 3 equals 18, so x must be 6. For E and F here, we have m divided by 3 equals 20. So we can do it using mental math, so what number divided by 3 equals 20? Or we can do it the other way and get the m by itself. We know that division and multiplication are also inverse operations, meaning they can cancel each other out. So if I'm dividing by 3, if I multiply by 3 on both sides, I get rid of the divided by 3, and I'll get 20 times 3, which gets me 60. For G, we have y plus 15 equals 50. So if we subtract 15 from both sides, it'll cancel it out and get y by itself, and it'll get us our answer on the other side. So if I take 35, I add it to 15, I get 50. The really nice thing about equations like this is they're self-checking problems. All you have to do is plug your answer back in and check to make sure it's right. For h, we have b minus 4 equals 8. So to get b by itself and get rid of the 4, we're going to add 4 to both sides of the equation. So in this case, we know that b equals 12 because adding 4 on both sides, it cancels it out on the side with the b, and 8 plus 4 is 12. For I, w divided by 2 equals 6. So to reverse division, we're going to multiply by 2 on both sides. So we get w equals 12. We plug it back in. 12 divided by 2 is 6. For j, we have 3 times c equals 27. Right, so we're going to divide both sides by 3 to get rid of the times 3 part. And we can check by plugging it back in. 3 times 9 does equal 27. For k, when we have 28 minus p, now subtraction is not commutative, meaning you can't change the order. So this one we do have to use some mental math. So we know we need a number that when we take it away from 28, we get 19. So if we use our thinking caps here, we know that we can subtract 19 from 28 to figure out what that missing variable is. So in this case, p is going to be 9, and if we plug it back in and check, 28 minus 9 does equal 19. For L, we have t plus 8 equals 26. So to cancel out the plus 8, we need to subtract 8 on both sides. So we get t equals 18. We can plug it back in. 18 plus 8 will get us 26. Please copy all of the work down and glue both pages in your math notebook.